fucking GoPro, man. This thing has got to go. Hey kids, welcome back to Uncle Fezzi's Mad Lab. What's Uncle Fezzi up to today? Well, in one of my other videos, I show me throwing away my beloved circa 1990 Craftsman hot glue gun because I had thought that it had died. And, you know, it breaks my heart that I had to throw a tool away because it finally wore out. Well, on the other side of my toolbox over here, or my bench that I'm working at, I had installed a power strip. Now, you'll notice this power strip is torn apart. I'm not pulling through the garbage for the rest of the pieces because I'm getting tired of pulling through the fucking garbage every day. Like a bum. Like a fucking bum, I'm pulling through the garbage every day for some shit I threw away. So, but I did pull this out, and I did pull this out. Because this is a pretty interesting, little bit of interesting story to me, at least. So I've had this glue gun since probably the mid-1990s, and it finally died. Well, at least I thought it died. So when I went out the other day, I grabbed the glue gun, I plugged it in, and it didn't work. Okay, well, you know, oh well, if it finally died, I threw it in the trash, I said a little prayer, and off it went to the trash gods. Well, on the other side of my toolbox here, I had it plugged into what I thought was a high amperage or high duty cycle power strip. Now you'll notice this power strip's all ripped to shit because I can't just throw something away. I gotta find out what's going on. So I went and plugged in my Dremel to do another part of a project, and the Dremel didn't work. And I'm like, oh, what the hell, right? And this power strip actually had LEDs on it to indicate that it was or was not working properly because this is an anti-surge power strip. So I did all basic troubleshooting. I checked the circuit breakers, I plugged it, I unplugged it, I did all that stuff. I looked on this thing for a reset button because I have another one over there that's got a reset button on it, which I've tripped a few times by running 3 saws and a vacuum cleaner at the same time on the same circuit. And all that stuff is to keep you from burning your garage down, right? Kind of like making sure you unplug your hot glue gun. But, so I tore this thing apart, and I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but somewhere along the line, magic smoke got let out of this thing. So not only did my glue gun shit the bed, it burned up my, what I thought was high amperage, high load power strip. It's got some diodes in it, and it's got, I don't know, all kinds of goofy shit in it that's supposed to protect it. Let's see, yeah, the diode, there's a transistor, there's 2 capacitors, 3 capacitors, some kind of orange, yellow thing, and a switch. Needless to say, it burned up. The magic smoke got let out of it. So, I go and paw through the garbage, because I'm a fucking bum and I can't go through a day without pulling through the garbage. And I pulled out my hot glue gun and I'm like, you know, maybe my hot glue gun's not bad. Maybe the power strip just fried itself. So I go and plug the hot glue gun in, and I take the hot glue gun up to my other project, out the low lighting project, or low voltage lighting project. I plug the hot glue gun in, and I wish I had the camera going, because not only did this thing let out the magic smoke, it let out a fantastic blue flame. It was pretty cool for the 1/10 of a second that it lasted. That also tripped a circuit breaker, which I then had to go find because I wasn't sure where I knew where that circuit breaker was. I've got 5 circuit panels in this house, and it was in one of the auxiliary circuit panels, which blew out, or tripped the breaker at least. So yes, the glue gun is dead. So I went to my local Home Depot and I purchased a new power strip. And this power strip has USB plugs in it, and it's some kind of smart thing and what have you. But it's not too smart, or it's not overly smart, because it doesn't have any way to fucking mount it. Yeah, it's got these little bullshit things on the back side here that you're supposed to put screws in and then slide it down, and voila, magically it's mounted. Well, it didn't come with any screws, for one thing. And two, the only way to get screws to go into these holes is to snap off these little things, because the fucking slits that hold the screws in aren't the right size. Not to mention that I have probably 10,000 screws in this shop and not a single one of them would fit in this hole. Why would it, right? So, me being me, I took this stupid thing apart. And lo and behold, this is just a, injection molded plastic piece. Every problem now has a 3D printing solution. So, I go into Fusion 360, I measured and mapped this whole thing out, and I made a new base for it. Now, you'll notice that this is in two pieces because my build plate wasn't long enough to take this 14-inch long backing plate. It doesn't matter, it's in two pieces. I could have made it so it fit better, but fuck it, right? This thing's going to get mounted and it's never going to come off. It's got 8 mounting screws on the back, and they go into these bosses that are already in here. And I made tabs so I could screw this onto the workbench. And believe it or not, the damn thing fits. Now, granted, in my haste to do this, I neglected to take into consideration. I didn't actually do that. I knew what I was going to do when I built this thing. I got to notch this out a little bit, which I'm going to just do with my Dremel. And the other thing I screwed up was I forgot to put relief in I forgot to countersink the holes. I don't think it's really going to matter. And if it does, I'm just going to take a heat gun, or I'm just going to take my heat press, which I used the other day to put threads in, and I'm just going to make the holes just a wee bit larger because my bosses actually go all the way down. So I'm going to get the Dremel out, and we're going to see if I'm as good as I think I am. It actually looks like it's going to fit, which is like shocking, right? How dare it fit? So, there's probably about 50 different ways to do this that are better than the way I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to use this Dremel here to hog that out. I do have an outlet that I installed on my bench. I still haven't done my, what do you call it? Shop tour. I did a whole ton of upgrades. Why would I have a black pen, right? I did a whole bunch of upgrades recently to the shop, and one of them was installing an outlet. So I'm just going to mark that there. I'm going to mark that there, just leave plenty of room. Once I cut this thing, the warranty's void anyway, so what goddamn difference does it make? So that's there, and then this wants to be about 1/4 of an inch. It actually is 1/4 of an inch, so we're going to go down. And I'm going to go down a little further. I could have made this just a little bit thicker at the base here. I thought about doing that, but I really wanted to print it out really quick. That's another thing. I have a really bad habit of starting a print and then walking away from the printer, which is a really terrible thing to do, but I keep doing it anyway. And what happened was something went kaplooey with my X1 carbon. I don't know exactly what happened, other than I hit print and walked away from it. I came back, I reset the Z. It said the Z-axis was jammed. It's just possible. I had a print fail the other day and flung shit all over the inside of the printer, so maybe a little chunk of shit got caught in the printer. I don't know. Put your safety glasses on. It's a good thing I buy these by the case. Oh man, these are all fucked up. Oh well. This is what we're gonna use. Moment of truth. Son of a bitch, it fits. And the holes all line up. Imagine that. And again, I'm going to have to bend this thing dangerously out of the way to get a screw in there. But, whatever. Now, I'm going to mark this side. Luckily, the I basically copied this one, except it has little tabs on it for mounting. Because why would they put little tabs on it for mounting it on something when they can not do that? The one that I took off, or the one that burned up, actually did have tabs on it. That's why I used it. It was made to mount on the wall. It was industrial. Yeah, well, apparently it didn't like my heat gun. It didn't like my heat gun being left on multiple times. That smells like Trinky Dinks. Just out of curiosity, I wonder. It smells like PVC. I wonder what kind of plastic it is. It doesn't say. It's got the stink of maybe ABS. I don't know. It's got a stink to it though. That's for damn sure. Okay. Now let's see if this one fits. Yep, good enough. You know, not the greatest. Not the greatest ones I've ever done, but not for nothing. Once this thing gets put on, you're never going to see this. And it's relatively protected. Let's see if I lost a screw. I'm really good at losing screws. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we fillet? I didn't actually lose a screw. So, the problem is, it's not a problem really, it's just my own stupidity. Is I forgot to countersink these holes. I may not have to. I may not bother. If I have to, I'm going to show how I'm going to do that, because why not, right? Mr. Mike didn't use his finding eyes. So let's see if this works. Done. I'm not even going to bother trying to countersink these. Fuck that noise. We're just going to we'll just leave it sit proud of the surface. That's all. Doesn't need to Worst case scenario is when I over tighten the screw here, this tab will break off, and then I'll have to reprint it, and I'll reprint it right then. I used Bamboo Labs High Flow PET G for this, if anybody cares, and I modeled it in Fusion 360. I'm sorry, Fusion. Yeah, the internet's a fucking horrible place. I was looking for something the other day about Fusion, and it was the question was about, I forget, projecting a sketch or some shit like that. And the person who asked the question asked, you know, in Fusion 360, why can't I do blah, blah, blah. And instead of answering the question, one of the respondents spent like 4 different posts bitching at the original poster because they used the wrong terminology to describe the program, which, like, what is wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with people? Okay, let's I'm gonna shut the camera off. Actually, no, I'm just gonna move the camera. Fuck it. Let's watch everything go to hell all at one time, right? I also tried an experiment with a piece of paper towel over my microphone to see if it can act as a dead cat as opposed to that piece of I gotta move the camera. Tape that I put on it that screwed the whole thing up. And one thing I forgot to check. Oh, no. Ha! Alright, well I got smart. So the last time I put So last time I put this together, I had to bend the washer to get it to fit, but I made the tabs bigger this time, so I have to flatten that washer out. Oh, you rotten motherfucker. Yeah, we're gonna do it this way. Yeah, we're gonna do it that way. Should be enough cord. Yeah, alright. Oh, I forgot the screws. Son of a bitch. Oh! And when you get to be old, you look at the ground twice before you kneel over or kneel down. That, and over the decades, I've kneeled on more pieces of broken glass and plastic and every goddamn thing else that can hurt you. A little short-sighted there, Feathers. I should probably get a level out. Alright. Now, because every problem has a 3D printing solution, I actually printed these because I knew this was going to be a problem. It was a problem last time, and now it's a problem again. Take a little bit of the stress out of that. Oh, damn it. I don't have a screw. Oh. Stuff like this is one of the reasons I have a 3D printer. Because, you know, it's nice to be able to put cables. You know, it's nice to have cable stays. Let's put it that way. I can make as many as I want. And I can resize them as I want. Because I have a 3D printer and I can do what I want. I can do what I want. Alright, I'm gonna go there. And then that's gonna go there. And that fucking cord's way too short now. Oh, you rat bastard. Alright. Back to plan A. Son of a bitch. I didn't want to mount this way. Oh, everybody likes to laugh at my misery, and you know, this is the credo of Fez Custom Auto and Cycle and woodworking and everything else is, why do something once when you can do it 3 times because you were too short-sighted to check, right? I didn't want the USBs on this end because I keep hitting them with my chair. Now, the answer to that is this watch where I put my chair, but why would I do that? That's no fun, right? All right. So I actually have to print another one of these. I don't have enough to do this job the way I want to do it, which is I need to put 2 more stays in. I don't need to, but I kind of want to. Yeah, that'll be good enough for the time being. Good enough for the video. Gets the point across, right? There we go. Now, on, protected. Now, let's see. Now this has some fancy stuff. I probably should have read the directions. You have to, there we go. You have to turn them on. You can turn them on and off. We have power, and we've got more LED lights and things that go bing.